Hello, hello, hello. This is Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from Bethlehem. I've been looking here at the little chapel thing that they have for Jesus, and I want to give you something very special. Let me turn my wind machine off. Let me lock my door because I don't want the Danites to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm going to tell you the Christmas story as I understand it. Now, I was in the Mormon church 53 years or 51 years, I don't know. But I'm out of there 10 or 15 years, and I didn't get excommunicated. I resigned. I read the information of the history of the church, and I resigned. I said, this can't be. It makes no sense. Now, I'm a 4-year seminary student. I'm a BYU graduate. I've been in Elders Quorum State Presidency, and I've taught Elders Quorum for years and years. And I also worked in the LA Temple for about a year. Now, with those qualifications, I think I can tell you the Christmas story. So gather your children around for a family home evening. This will be a Mormon family home evening, and I will be telling the story, and I'm going to lower the lights. Ooh, yeah, lower the lights. Whoa. Oh, the light man, Alpha and Omega, where the hell are you? Let me turn this light off. Whoa! Okay, children, gather around, and Sir David the Bard is going to tell you the story that's in the Bible, and in the Book of Mormon, and in the Book of Abraham, and in the Book of Bullshit. Now, children, here's what happened. Joseph, we don't know his last name, and he was engaged to a girl named Mary. Now, Mary said that she was a virgin, but as most of you know, children, there's very few virgin girls in the world, and especially out there in the old times. Anyway, she said to Joseph, I'm a virgin. He says, good. Good, I want to marry a virgin. Okay, so they set up a little house, and they were going to get married. Well, after a few months of living together, Mary comes to Joseph, and Joseph knows they haven't had any fooling around. Joseph has left the little general in his pants. The little general's trying to get out of there, but, you know, Joseph goes, no, she's a virgin. Let's wait till we get married. So Mary comes to him one month, and she goes, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. And he goes, Joseph said, okay, what is the good news? And she said, I don't know. Now, children, sometimes there isn't good news. So he did say, finally, what's the bad news, Mary? She says, I'm pregnant. He goes, Jesus Christ. And she goes, you're right, it is Jesus Christ. How did you know? He says, Jesus Christ. So anyway, Mary was very excited that Joseph knew it was Jesus Christ. Now, I think there's been a lot of fiancés that have come to their mate and go, by the way, I'm pregnant. So they had to get married very quick. Now, Joseph is laying in bed one night, and he starts going, Jesus Christ! And Mary goes, what's wrong, honey? What's wrong? And he says, well, I want to hear the story. You know, maybe, there is a Jesus Christ. I don't know who the hell he is. Is that his last name, Christ? Mr. Christ, could you come to the front of the class? I don't know. So he says, okay, I want to hear the details. She said, I don't have a problem with the details. So she said, there was this magic being. And Joseph goes, oh, Jesus Christ. So Mary goes, now don't jump to any conclusion. There was this magic God. And he came down into the kitchen when you were away at work and said, hi, Mary, are you still a virgin? She goes, you bet your ass I am. He said, you won't be in a few minutes. So Joseph goes, oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, this magic man, he had a very, very large penis. and he said he only uses it for special events. And it was my lucky day. So we had intercourse. I orgasmed 3 or 4 times, and he did 2 or 3 times. And, you know, he kept yelling, "Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God." And I said, "Well, aren't you, oh, God?" He goes, "Well, yeah, I am. Oh, baby, oh, baby." She said, "I'm no baby." So anyway, Joseph, he left. And, you know, a couple of days, a couple of weeks later, I skipped my period. And Joseph goes, "Jesus Christ, a magic God. Mary, do you expect me to believe that shit?" She says, "It is. It's religion. And his ways are not our ways. And by God, his ways were better than your ways." So Joseph goes, "Well, screw it. You know, she's pregnant, so let's just go ahead and get married, and I'll screw her brains out until the baby comes." Well, evidently it was tax time, and he didn't know if he should file taxes joint or single parent or parent or godparent. He had no idea. So he decided to go to the tax man, the IRS man there in the old days, and find out how much he owed in tax. Well, they were getting quite along here in pregnancy, and so Mary was riding on a mule, and his name was Joseph. The mule's name was Joseph. And so, you know, she was making fun of Joseph and saying, you know, "If you believe my story, I've got some beachfront property in Arizona." And so anyway, Joseph took it like a man. Jesus Christ! That's how a man takes it. You're pregnant with somebody else's child, but it's a God. Yes, it's a God child. Okay. Well, a lot of girls have tried to use that line, and their fiancés did the same thing. Jesus Christ! Anyway, they come to a town where they're going to pay their taxes. Now, Joseph goes to the Motel 6, because he's a cheap bastard. And they're poor, too, because they're supporting another man's baby about to be born, and they're getting absolutely no child support. None! So Joseph goes into the Motel 6, and he said, "I have a wife, and she's probably going to have a baby tonight. Can we get a room?" So the Motel 6 clerk says, "Well, is that your child?" And he goes, "No." And, "Well, whose child is it?" "God." And the clerk goes, "No, you can't be here. Mentally ill people and illegitimate children belong out in the barn." And Joseph says, "Hell, the way my life is going, I'll take the barn." So anyway, he takes Mary out there to the barn and puts her down in the hay. If you know what I mean. Well, anyway, the baby decided it was going to come that night. And so Mary was laying there in the barn screaming her brains out, yelling, and Joseph is yanking on the head of the baby, and Joseph is screaming, "Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ." And he's trying to give birth to a God baby. So the baby plops out, and Mary is exhausted, and Joseph looks at the baby and says, "Your name will be Jesus Christ, because I am so pissed that you're in our family. Every time you do something, I'm going to yell, 'Jesus Christ,' and that's going to be your name." So anyway, he wraps the baby up in a Snuggle Bunny pajamas, and they're trying to get some sleep now, and they have an illegitimate baby in their midst, with Mary insisting that God's ways are not our ways. And Joseph said, "They appear to be. God's ways are our ways." So anyway, there's these 3 guys, and they can't afford a car. They can't afford a damn horse. And they're called the wise men. Now, there's no indication anywhere in the Bible what their jobs were. There's no indication that they had any education. But they were the Wise brothers. 3 of them were traveling on a camel. Now, I don't know I don't know if they had separate camels, children, or they were all three on one camel. I think this is a poor group of guys here, and I think that they were migrating and moving and trying to take a tax deduction for moving expenses at the tax man there where Mary and Joseph were. Well, anyway, they looked up into the sky and they saw a star. Now, you know, I don't know how you can see a star different than the stars that are already up there. But they decided that they were great astronomers and they were going to follow the star. Have you ever tried to follow a star? It's so far away, you don't know if it's left, right, north, east, south. But the Bozo brothers, oh, I'm sorry, the wise men, they go, we're following the star. Well, the star took them into the tax man. And when they got there, they go, oh, shit, I didn't know the star was going to bring us here. So anyway, they had to sleep out in the barn with the baby, illegitimate baby Jesus, Joseph, and the prostitute wife Mary. So anyway, they're in a group, and the wise men were trying to hit on Mary, and they said, "Hey, that's a pretty neat looking baby," and she says, "Yes, it's God's baby." And they said, well, baby, you want to meet God again? Here's a little money, frankincense, and myrrh. And she goes, hey, I like frankincense and myrrh. I also like you boys. So anyway, the Bible doesn't say whether their bribes satisfied her or not. I mean, the girl had some pretty low morals, if you know what I mean. If my wife said, God screwed me, I go, no, somebody else screwed you, not God. Anyway, that's the Christmas story, children. And then pretty soon, they were ready to go back to their town. They paid their taxes, and I'll be damned if a guy in a red suit. Now, there weren't a lot of red suits in Jerusalem at that time, and he had a white beard, and he had a sack over his shoulder. And he came into the barn, and it's not what you think. It's not what you think. When they said, who are you and why are you here? He said, I'm God's other son. And they kicked me out of Motel 6. I'm out here in the barn, too, with the three stooges and the illegitimate child. It appears that this barn has been made for the losers of the world. And so this Santa sits down, and Mary goes, you know, she's the girl that kind of likes things. And she goes, you got anything in that bag for me? And he goes, yeah, I got something in the bag for you. God wants another child, and he sent me here, and I'm magic. Mary goes, God, I'm done with the magic, guys. And Joseph goes, oh, shit, Jesus Christ, get on the donkey. We got to get the hell out of Jerusalem. So anyway, children, there's your Christmas story by the Bard. Thanks.